What's up guys, my name is Mike of Coed Gaming, and Project Diva Future Tone on PS4 will feature at least 213 songs. A little while ago, 2 images were released on Twitter showing the song selection screen for Future Tone, as well as what the game looks like if you fail a song. I want to look at these 2 pictures on their own and examine them and see what we can find that'll give us some hints as to what's new and what's changing between the arcade version of Project Diva and now the PS4 version. So the first thing that I want to mention regarding this picture, the one where the person is failing the song, if you notice in the top left corner where it says normal, that's always where the difficulty is in the arcade version. However, the styling has been changed quite a lot. This is what it normally looks like if a song is being played on normal. So that's one thing that's been changed. Another thing, first of all, the song being played is Electro Saturator. Keep that in mind for later, because that does matter. If we move over to the top right corner, we can see the score has been moved from the bottom right to the top right. Not exactly sure why they did that. Maybe just so it's out of the way of the lyrics, which, by the way, have been given their own section in the bottom left. Now, the lyrics do appear in the arcade version, but the word lyrics, as far as I know, at least with certain skins, does not appear. Also, if we look at the bottom left corner, in the arcade version, it's kind of this half trapezoid shape in the bottom left, but here, it's more of a half hexagon with a rainbow design. That's another thing that's different. Also, the main skin that we're seeing right here, I assume this is just the basic standard skin. You obviously will be able to change them, just like in the arcade version, and even the newer Project Divas on home platforms have implemented this feature. The life bar is the same. The whole idea of the stage clear bar, that's all the same. Also, the word failed on screen. It's very interesting to me how the person who released these photos decided to show that. Now, in past Project Diva games, if ever you fail a song, the screen would fade white, and you would be brought back to a status screen where whichever Vocaloid it was in the song is basically whimpering and pouting and scolding you, telling you that you did a bad job, and it'll say not clear and cheap or lousy, depending on which version of the game you're playing. The arcade version, on the other hand, it doesn't fade to white and, slowly fade out the song. It just stops the song point blank and puts the word failed right on screen. Here's a picture from the arcade version. Here's the PS4 version. So we can definitely see that Sega is being faithful when it comes to being authentic to the arcade version as much as they can, while also updating things to make it more streamlined for the PS4 version. Now, on to the next picture. This picture is really interesting to me because it definitely shows more than the other one. This is the song selection screen, and once again, the song being selected is Electro Saturator. Now, we can immediately notice some differences between the PS4 version and the arcade version. First of all, the actual tiles in which the song titles sit does look slightly different than the arcade version. Here's the arcade version. Now, I want to apologize for the low quality. This was the only picture I could find of the arcade version selecting that exact song. As far as I know, there's no videos of it on YouTube at that screen, only once the video's already started. So I really dug deep to try to find an image to compare it with, and this was the best I could find. Now back to the other one, the PS4 version. If we look in the top right, it says Project Diva Future Tone, which is obvious. The difficulty settings are also slightly redesigned, but again, nothing out of the ordinary. Now, right underneath Easy, correct me if I'm wrong, I can speak Japanese pretty okay, but reading it is different. I believe that says underneath Easy in the purple, does that say Soto? So, Soto, but it's in katakana. So I imagine it's saying sort, but I don't understand how that would work. Now, immediately I figure that's the extra difficulty. In the arcade version, there's 5 difficulties: easy, normal, hard, extreme, and then extra extreme. I'm not sure what the kanji at the bottom says. I can't read kanji, but I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that's the extra difficulty option. Now, not all songs have extra extreme, but if they were to make it where every song did, that would be something really interesting. It would add a new level of challenge to the game that I'd love. Also, if we look right underneath the actual title of the song, not the one on the left, but the graphic, we can see a picture of Miku in a blue and white box wearing no outfit out of the ordinary. Now, I already know what that is. That's the selected module that is going to be used for that song. So we already know up front that, yes, you will be able to customize your modules per song. Dreamy Theater had that too. But what's really cool is that little thumbnail type thing down there is our way of knowing which costume is down there. We also know, based on what we see at the bottom right, the previous score, or the high score that the player has gotten for that song. There's not a whole lot else to talk about regarding this screen. I'll mention a few more things. In the very top left, above all the hiragana hexagons, which are used for sorting the songs, by the way, right next to that little music note, it says Rizumu Game. So Rizumu Game in katakana translates to rhythm game. All the Dreamy Theater games have this, all the Project Divas have this, so that's really cool to know that they're keeping to the tradition. But what's really interesting is every game that had Rizumu Game as an option, it also had things like the Diva Room, the AR support. Now, is this game going to have AR support? I have no idea. I do hope that there is a Diva Room of some kind. Now, the arcade version doesn't have that, so I'm not holding my breath. This is the meat and potatoes of the game, to be honest. As long as it has this and it does it right, that's fine. Now, one last thing I want to comment on before I move down to the bottom of the screen. Look in the very bottom left. 30 out of 213. Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm recording this, Project Diva Arcade Future Tone has 233 songs. Or is it 223? One of those numbers. I'm going to just go with the lower one. 223 songs. I believe that's it, actually. 223 songs. This has 213. We can easily say that this is from an earlier build without the next 10 songs being added, and those songs will ship with the full game once it's released sometime this year. That, to me, is extremely interesting, that they are packing this game to the brim with content. They're gonna make sure that we get every single song. I talked about this in one of my other videos about how I think Project Diva Future Tone will have all the songs. This is pretty much confirmation. Now, it's not every single song, because as I said before, it's missing 10, but this is the PS4, and it does have the ability to have DLC, and I do think that's what they're going to do. Whenever new songs are added to Project Diva Arcade, they'll just release them as DLC on the PS4 version. That just makes sense. Now, moving on to the very bottom. If you look next to Square, the prompt for Square, again, it says Soto. Now, So and Shi in katakana are very similar, and I may be reading that wrong. Anyone who is more fluent in Japanese than I clearly am. I mean, again, I can speak it. Reading it is a different story. And that says Soto, I think. So again, sorts. So that probably means it's gonna list the songs in a variety of ways, alphabetically, by difficulty, which is how I like to do it. I like to have the songs in descending order from easiest to hardest. Then, for triangle, it says Kasutubaizu. So customize. That obviously refers to the module that the Vocaloid is going to wear, and I would also assume the skin that's going to be on the UI during the song. Now, Project Diva Arcade has a ton of UI options to pick from, and I imagine that all of those are going to ship with the full game just like all the costumes. And just like with the new songs, with new modules and new skins, those can be released as DLC as well. Circle and an X, from what I understand, are just confirm and go back. R2 says Kasutamizu and then something in kanji. Now, unfortunately, I can't read the kanji, but if triangle is just customize, that might mean the module. R2, because it's also customized, that might be the skin, the UI options. I'm not sure 100%. This is all speculation, just basing this stuff on what I'm seeing. This is how it's looking. So, Project Diva Future Tone is definitely keeping a lot of the conventions that the Dreamy Theater games have, while obviously putting in everything that the arcade version has. Now, keep something in mind. I said a long time ago that I was hoping that Project Diva Arcade on PS4, if it ever were to happen, should have the same menu system as the arcade version. I can't believe they actually did it. This is the exact same menu system as the arcade version. So, these are all the updates that I have right now. Again, I know it's not much. I know I'm chomping at the bit here for info, and I'm really grabbing at straws, but this is really exciting for me personally, and I know that there's people watching this that are excited about this game. PS4 owners and non-PS4 owners who, I gotta say, this is pretty good incentive to get one. This is great. This just shows more authenticity to the arcade version that the PS4 version is bringing forward, and if there's any more updates, when there's more updates regarding Project Diva Future Tone, I will make sure to cover them. Guys, check out the rest of Koei Gaming, check out the rest of my Hatsune Miku videos. There will be more coming in the future, and as promised, when Project Diva Future Tone on PS4 officially launches, I will be doing playthroughs of that game on this channel on whatever difficulty you guys want. Just please be liberal and don't pick extra extreme for Sadistic Music Factory. I don't want to lose my hands. Thank you. Guys, have a great day. Check out the rest of Koei Gaming, and until next time, I will see you later. What's up guys, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to check out last week's video, which can be found right here. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And while you're at it, make sure to check out the rest of Koei Gaming, where we upload gaming videos every single week. And as always, game on!